So we're in a different location with microphones, Fireside in Tahoe.
I had to switch it up a little bit because I feel like my voice wasn't being heard enough on these shows. So added the mics, make it a little bit more professional, I guess.
Personally, I don't think I need. I'm already naturally loud, but I'm gonna go with the microphone. Just try to speak a little softer so I don't blow you out. But yeah, no, we're in Tahoe. It's really cold. It's about what, 26? Might be 30 now. It was about 20 this
morning. It's not too cold though, actually. I feel like it's been days in the Bay Area that's been colder than this. Like recently, especially. You
know what's different about this cold? It's like it at night, like when you're walking around versus like at night if you're walking around the bay or something. Like this is just, it's more, I don't know, it can take your breath away kind of cool. But
you just higher up, so.
Right, the altitude.
The altitude, but
I know,
it's like Tahoe for you.
That's why we're dressed casually.
Yeah.
I'm in sweats. We're not in our he say, she say clothes.
This sweater reminds me of kind of like being in the snow for some reason. Like, I don't know why.
It's Nordic.
Like, if I was to go skiing, I would wear this. But too bad I ain't going skiing.
I tried to get him to go skiing, but he was, he wasn't having it. But we did go up to the mountain yesterday. We did some exploring. That was fun. We took a gondola up to the Heavenly Observation Center, it's called, right? Mm-hmm. Gorgeous views of the lake and the mountains, and it was really majestic. Highly recommend. If you're ever in South Lake Tahoe, and it's the Heavenly Gondola, but a lot of people will go up there to ski, of course, or just do what we did. We went up there and had a drink at the bar and just kind of hung out, and there's tubing, there's all sorts of things. But yeah, Tahoe's, I haven't been here in a few years, so it's kind of nice to be back. I'm glad I don't live anywhere where it snows. I know I'm not built for the snow, for living. It's nice to visit.
Yeah, literally only for vacation. That's it.
Right.
I can only
nice little getaway.
Yeah, pretty much. So what's new going on in the world right now? We're on vacation, but the world been in flames as usual.
There's been a lot of mass shootings happening, sadly. Some in California. It's kind of a wild start to 2023. There was an earthquake in Los Angeles yesterday. I know, it's funny, when you're on vacation you don't keep up with the news too much, at least I don't, because I try to just turn everything off, but that did come up on Twitter.
Let me ask you something, you think these are just random, like, coincidences? Like, all these mass shootings, the earthquake so far, like, we still only in January. You think all this is just randomly happening?
Well, earthquakes could happen at any time, so I don't really pay a whole lot of attention. We have many earthquakes every day, apparently. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah.
So some are just right, so we don't even know they're happening. I don't pay too much attention to that. The mass shootings, January typically is a month where people, I feel like, are a little depressed. You've got, different parts of the world where, like, you're shut in. You're like it's like the low coming out of the holidays. People are like, oh, the holidays bring all this excitement. Well, for some people it does, but and then like January, your bills hit. You got to pay for all that. No, and then you're kind of like, I don't know. It could be a cold, dark time for some people. So I don't know. I feel like there could be something with that.
Even with the resolutions, though, you feel like it's a depressing month. I thought this is the month where everybody had like that sense of renewed spirit.
There are not for everybody.
Take on the year.
You have two different types of people. Some people aren't into that, right? Like some people, I don't know. Or then you have the people who make resolutions and don't really stick to them. Right? Is anybody sticking to the resolution? Are you? Wait, well, what was? I think
I forgot.
I know.
Get 1% better every day.
It was making. Yeah, it was making a difference. It was making a difference every day. Yeah. So which honestly isn't. Is that really resolution? It's kind of like just life, right? Like just your little motto in life to, we should all be making a difference every day somehow, some way, I think. But yeah, I don't know. It's really heartbreaking to, see the stories that are, it was kind of unbelievable that there were that many in this month and how much of a problem it is. And
wasn't it like a Happy New Year shooting?
It was a Lunar New Year that was at a dance hall, Monterey Park. And apparently I think there were some warning signs. This guy, the man who went and did this, would frequent the dance hall, but he didn't really have friends there. He didn't trust anybody, and so he kind of already he was kind of marked as like an outsider. Now, I don't know much. I haven't read a whole lot on it, so I can't really speak on it, but you know, there was some shooting at some farms as well. You know, I didn't even want to read it. Sometimes I don't want to read about this stuff, and you know, it becomes too much, right? It becomes heavy. Like, everybody's already dealing with their own things, right? And then you put this on, and it's just like, you can only carry so much around.
I don't pay attention to the news anymore, besides Twitter. But other than that, to be honest, I feel like they just put bad things on the news. Like, yeah, we know bad things going on, but they kind of highlight the bad stuff purposely, just to maybe scare us, or just make us think that everything is out of control at the moment. But I just feel like the news is very, it's rigged. It's very one-sided. It's what they want you to.
It is. It in a sense, and I'll tell you. I mean, when I took a class, because was a broadcast major, I guess don't know, and they said that the job of the news is to create the feeling of feeling lucky that didn't happen to you. That is the number one job of the news. So you watch all these things, you're like horrified, right? You're like, oh, thank God it wasn't me. That is the number. Isn't that crazy?
But why though? Why is that? Like, what does that do?
I don't agree with that, but it's exactly why. Like, what's the point? I remember that. It was actually on a test. It was a test question. It's like to promote the feeling of feeling lucky. That wasn't you. So it's like, okay, so you're going to infuse us with all of these horrible stories and terrible happenings in the world, so we feel fortunate that didn't happen to us. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little backwards, but I mean, I'm like,
don't
why
pay
don't
too much attention to the news?
Well, yeah, I mean, now if you notice when you watch the news, there's always some like little heartwarming story at the end of, like, a baby animal being born in a zoo or something like that, or some like person that's doing well in the community, but it's like, why aren't we focusing more on that? Like, why aren't we highlighting things that are uplifting versus all of the horrible things?
I just think negativity just sells.
It does.
Negativity sells, it thrives. We'll get tired of somebody doing good, or like, especially in, let's say, for example, sports. We'll get tired of somebody who's great, all the time. It gets boring. Like the LeBrons, the Stephs, the different superstars. If they always great, it's like, okay, well, we're used to it. But as soon as like something negative jump off, we just take it and run with it. It just sells. Like,
well, and I feel like those guys, they're always looking for something negative on them because they are great. And I feel bad, like, because they're in some sort of spotlight, Although I can't say that I get tired of seeing Steph Curry, like, be great.
Yeah, no, I mean,
throw that in there.
sometimes, yeah.
I mean, but,
I mean, you can never be tired of greatness. I mean, to be honest, that's a good thing, though. That just means it's a habit at that point, So, but as far as, like, the negativity, the news, I just stay away from it. It'll bring you down. Even the Bible say, like, don't focus on that stuff. Just stay in prayer. Stay looking upwards. It says, like, don't look around, don't look down, look to the sky. Just keep your head up, keep prayer. I think that's my motto right now. You can't control the world right now. We know it's gonna get worse. Like, I don't wake up in the morning and be like, oh, the world is getting better. Like, we know.
You should do your part.
Yeah, you know it's gonna get. What matters is you changing your world. Not the world, but your world. From your perspective, from your view, how you see it. Like, I put a post yesterday talking about elevation because.
Right. It was good.
You gotta just keep going up, because the news will definitely bring you down. You look around and you see what's going on, it'll hinder you if you pay too much attention to it. But if you just keep the eye on the goal, you know, keep looking up, keep elevating, stay focused. You know, easier said than done sometimes, but
there's a lot of distractions to take
at.
away your focus,
That's
and
where
then
it's at.
that's part of the issue, right? We have to, you know, diffuse the distractions. Like, see what happens when you're on vacation, you forget how to talk.
Especially like screens, like our phones, TVs.
The screens
I
are
know
the
I'm
worst
bad
distraction ever.
with my phone because I'm always in sports. I'm always like looking at news and stuff. But like even all like the screen stuff, it's too much dopamine. They say you need like a dopamine break, like from pleasure, from like social media, from the food you like to eat, or just anything that brings pleasure. Like you need a break because too much of that, it'll have you feeling drained. Like,
well, and it also gives you a false sense too. You know, like looking at the stuff on social media sometimes too. That could be overwhelming and too much because you begin to think maybe your life isn't as good, or you know you want to look a certain way or be a certain, all those things play, and then it could have a reverse effect and bring you down instead of uplifting you, right? As we were just talking about, staying lifted and elevated. I think a heavy diet of it isn't good.
I think who is hurting the most is like the kids, because kids take everything in. They don't even know how to like go outside and play. You want to play basketball, football. We used to play football in the middle of the streets, get big games, get the neighborhood coming out, get a basketball game going on, running around, playing tag, whatever it is. But now it's like with all the technology, all this, so many distractions. Kids don't even want to go outside. Don't even want to.
Right.
They can't tell you what type of flowers in the yard, what type of tree that is. Just like stuff about nature that they.
I battle that with my own kids. I mean, it's tough. I mean, and I actually told my girls recently, I said, I really wish you guys grew up without social media. And they're like, why? It's so great. I'm like, it's really not. I mean, if you didn't, they've only known a world with it, right? So they don't know the difference. But I said, I just wish you would have that. You wouldn't have to worry about who's doing what, where, who had what party, who was invited, who wasn't, were you included, all those things. It really erases all that. And, it gives you less to think about, worry about, all that, fashion trends, everything. I mean, although fashion trends, I feel like you didn't need social media, but that was always there.
It's wild because, like, they call it the metaverse, and it really is, like, a different world. And you see people creating their characters, their little person for the metaverse, and I'm just like, dang, like.
It's too much.
People taking this stuff serious to the point where, it's kind of an escape because a lot of people don't like how they are in this life. So they go into
they create
a whole. It's kind of like if you go to jail. Like some dudes out here on the street, they probably nobody. They won't even know how to handle themselves. But in jail, they be leaders. They be like, having their own gang and stuff. It's just like
it's a different culture.
You get to create whatever you want to be on metaverse and.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it's a way to break into reality. And I'm a realist. I'm more like, I like to be more realistic. Don't get me wrong, it's good to kind of get a break, but it's way out of hand now. It's way out of hand. Virtual reality, everywhere. It's just.
So what do you do to keep less distracted?
To be honest, what I was doing before, I kind of slipped up, but I used to like read, do things that give me energy instead of like that's taking energy. So like reading, exercising. I was taking walks for a minute, just kind of like going out to nature.
For your head.
They say you come up with like the best ideas, like in the shower or just being in nature.
True.
When you're not even thinking about it, then like the best ideas come up. Mm-hmm. So I used to like take walks. Sometimes just sit there. You know what the hardest thing for us to do is just sit in silence and just like you call it meditate or just sit there with your eyes closed, pray. But just sitting there in silence, being still, like that's so hard for us to do as a society. You know, we always got to be up doing something, and society kind of teaches you that you should always be busy. You should always be. If you're not doing nothing, you're wasting time. You wasting your life. But really, it's good to be still every now and then.
Oh, you have to. It's to take care of yourself. Yeah, I mean, your body will stop you eventually. You know, it'll talk to you. You get the signs will be there to slow down. You know, that's why it's nice being up here. You know, it's relaxing. I mean, even though it's cold, you know, but it's nice up here. It's like I mean, unless you're up here to ski, but like, you know, you could find things to do, but it's just kind of chill, and I feel like I kind of needed this pause, so it was good. So I'm glad we did that, but yeah. More traveling on board, hopefully for 2023.
Gotta recharge, regroup.
You do, and you know, you don't even necessarily like need to travel to recharge. You could do it so many ways. You could, you know, like you were saying, take walks, take hikes, go to the beach,
camping. I like camping.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all sorts of things. The beach is one of my favorite places just to go unwind and relax. You know, just depends.
Even in the mountains, being up here in the mountains was like, you could just stand there and just talk to God up there. You know, just scream if you need to, cry if you need to, whatever it is. Like being on top of a mountain and being that close to like God, that was crazy. That was a great.
We're pretty high up. I wish I didn't know the elevator. We were pretty high up though.
Yeah, too high, but it was nice though. Nice view.
You don't think about it, right? I just kind of don't think about it.
Yeah, true.
I felt safe. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you know, it'd have been fun to maybe go skiing, but that's okay. Next time. Oh no, we got another day.
You know, I need to see like every different. Like I want to see like every different part of like Earth, like this is the mountains. Like it'd be dope to see the desert. Or like
Vegas
a rainforest,
really doesn't count.
You know,
yeah,
just like every different setting, just to kind of experience that, you know.
Yeah, no.
I think that would be nice. Just like how people go and visit different cultures to kind of get a wake up call about different things. That too, I need to go check out different cultures. That'd be dope. I think it'll change your perspective. Because sometimes we feel like we may have it bad or we may have it.
Oh, I think it will too.
You know, too good.
You learn things about yourself when you know, immerse yourself in other cultures and learn from them and different, being in different countries.
I'm trying to go to Mexico.
You just went to Mexico.
Nah, but
but you were
that was a cruise.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
down for Mexico. I'm just anywhere warm and tropical works for me.
Yeah. You know, what's that one show with Guy Fieri? How you travel around and just taste food?
Oh yeah,
that's the greatest show. You know, that would be something to do. That's the greatest thing to do for a show, like just to eat, taste things, man. If you ever need a guest, Guy, hit me up, man.
Yeah, no, he has a pretty good gig. That's not a bad gig. I know. I mean, well, you have those people who are travel bloggers too, right? The people who write columns and do the travel. I think those things. Yeah, hire me to travel. Sure, I'd be on board with that. I know.
It's crazy to think because like people will come and they be tourists and they'll take pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge and be all amazed, and then I'm driving over it every morning, just going to work, and it kind of loses. Like you realize it's still a big landmark, but it's not the same as somebody who don't live in San Francisco. So.
Right. I never get tired of crossing that bridge. That's why I asked you today. I'm like, how does it feel to cross the bridge?
You're like, slipping and sliding in the rain. Yo,
I know. Well, but no, that's why I asked you. I was like, how does it feel to cross the bridge? And you were like, well, I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of the Bay Bridge, to be honest.
I have an affection for both. Obviously, when I started working in the city, the Bay Bridge is the bridge I crossed. I was East Bay girl. But
especially early morning, like driving when it's still dark or like at night.
Well, those lights.
The lights lit up.
Yeah, but the lights might go
I
away.
know,
That's sad. But
Keep
the Golden Gate is just what's iconic, and it's. I mean, when the fog's rolling, I don't know. It's breathtaking. The Golden Gate. They're different. They're different beauties. You can't really. I don't like to compare them because they're different. But yeah, it's those arches driving under them. It's just I don't know. It's like it's bigger than you. And yeah, so hopefully, I've lived in the Golden Gate. I've lived in Marin for more than 20 years, and I have not walked across the Golden Gate yet. So that is a goal to walk across the Golden Gate. Jay's going with me. He just doesn't know yet.
We should have got some marshmallows to
for the bootleg fireplace.
For the bootleg fireplace. We should have been doing this.
I'm getting hot right now.
I know, I'm getting hot too. We need to wrap this up. But yeah, live from Lake Tahoe.
Fireside chat.
More shows coming. More ideas on the way of how to make the show better. This and that. We take ideas to different discussions.
Things are being planned and in the works.
Yeah, 2023 elevation. That's all it's about right now. Just trying to elevate.
I think we need to do more shows from locations.
Yeah, that would be dope. Actually, as you said, that travel, do more shows, do reels, to go with it, so you can see the little different things that we do. Right. But yeah, I think I need to go to casino tonight. Only been to the mountain. Now I'm trying to win.
Casinos are across the street. We're in California, but we're gonna walk across the street to Nevada to go gamble.
Facts. Where you could get free liquor and you ain't gotta pay when you gambling. So that's always
we have our own house liquor here, but that's always for when it's really too cold. No, but yeah, no, I know.
But yeah, more things coming in 2023. Remember, I think the topic for the day was no distractions.
No distractions, reset.
Be still.
Be still.
Be still.
And take care of yourself.
Be still and be real.
There you go.
And I think I'm going to leave it there.
Sounds good.
All right.